challenging times, how to maximize what the government programs are and what else we can do beyond the, regular, you know, benefits, that how can you technically maximize your benefit in this particular section. Patrick, can you make sure that everyone is muted, and then when we get to the Q&A session, we'll make sure we unmute everyone as well. So you want to be positioned not to fail in this unexpected time. Because as I said earlier, anybody who technically, can survive through this downturn would be able to phenomenally take a lot of opportunities and come out as a successful, on the other side. I still hear a lot of background noise. I think there is someone's microphone unmuted. So Patrick, please mute everybody's, microphone so we can technically focus on the presentation, and then we will open it for Q&A session. As I said again, we appreciate everyone joining today morning, and our goal today is to go over for a small business how to navigate this challenging times faced by COVID-19 or coronavirus for all our small businesses. So you want to be position yourself to not fail in this unexpected time, as I said again, because if you are able to succeed through this challenging time, you will have phenomenal opportunity on the other side as a small business, because businesses who will not have survived through this challenging time because they were not proactive enough to take the advantage of all the government programs, or maybe restructure their business in such a way that they are maximizing their benefits at the same time surviving them and their employees through this challenging time. Because I strongly believe that a small business is the strength is the unique recipe or unique benefit they bring to the customers and consumers. Also, what they technically, their employees are the strength of a small business. So, making sure that through this process, your employees continue working for you on the other side is very, very important. You have to ask yourself question, is your business affected directly or indirectly by COVID-19? Are you having hard time paying your employees or mortgage or other things? Do you want your business to be evaluated because you have no idea how this disaster is affecting your business? So Perfect Capital is uniquely positioned. As I said again, there's been a firm started by Perfect Tax. Perfect Tax has been in business for more than 20 years today, and they've been successfully able to navigate this territory as a small business venture. Not only that, they've also helped customers in maximizing their savings through tax planning and various other scenarios. Their primary focus area always has been how they can maximize the savings for the end customers. So the Perfect Capital as an initiative is one more initiative by Perfect Tax to help customers achieve the exact same thing. So today, different government programs, it is divided in the $2 trillion package, and the initial package of $150 billion, which was created, was divided into multiple different areas. Individuals are going to get $560 billion in grants. Big corporations are getting $500 billion in grants. Small businesses are having $377 billion. State and local government have $339.8 billion. Public health and safety was allocated $153 billion, and safety net extra was of $26 billion. The various types of loans and financing government created through the small business package. So government created, two different programs, and obviously you always have an option to technically get a private party loan or a private lending or a direct bank lending, which is not an SBA lending. Government has created an important program called PPP, which stands for Paycheck Protection Program. The name is a little bit misleading, but it's not only for the purpose of paycheck protection, but the money could be utilized for a variety of sources or variety of things. And that filing only started yesterday. So banks started taking an application only since yesterday, even though it was created, because banks, this particular program is going to be implemented through banks, even though it is backed by government. And earlier program, which was rolled out in the first, package, was the EIDL program, which stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So as part of, economic injury disaster loan, it was technically designed to help businesses technically, meet all and majority expenses what a business could have, right from advertising to, payroll to, mortgage to rents and everything. And there are key differences between these two loans, and you are allowed to take both as long as you're not using the same money, as long as you're not using or you're using the money for different purposes through both of these programs. And obviously, Perfect Capital also has, access to more than $200 million in capital, which we are partnered with, big private lending source, which would allow you to technically secure an short-term loan for year to year and a half. And the interest rate would be a little higher than the government programs, but this is an additional source which everyone needs to remember that we can also help you with. Paycheck Protection Program. As the name says, loan is 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. What does that really mean? That average monthly payroll loan technically today is first come first serve basis. So it is limited. Unless and until they technically were to do another stimulus money and they were to allocate additional money. The money should be used for sick leave, run payroll, pay rent, pay debt, mortgage, utilities, group benefits, interest on debt, and the program runs all the way to June 30th. All the expenses to 30th are planning to be funded by that. So the government is not trying to fund you today through this program all the way to end of the year. They are trying to fund you today through this June 30th. So the way this program is structured, SBA Protection Program, technically, or PPP program, what it is called, there is no personal guarantee required. There is no collateral required. No, and max interest will be 4%. There will be a deferment of interest of 6 to 12 months of payment deferral. Not only interest, there will be payment deferral, and has a very unique feature of loan forgiveness. Payroll loan is 2.5 times of your average monthly payroll, and the payroll per employee salary is capped at 100K. Now, this program has very unique thing. Typically, SBA has an affiliation check rules. What that means is that if you have two businesses, they would try to combine the employees of both the business or the loans for both the business, and will only allow you max amount of loan. In this protection program, in this PPP program or Paycheck Protection Program, they are not going to consider affiliation rules. What that really means is each location will be considered as a separate business. You would have to still let them know that there is an affiliation, but each location will be treated as a separate individual location. So that is very, very important. At the same time, no personal guarantees or collaterals are required. So you are not required to show or give any personal guarantee in this particular loan. Another unique feature I told you, there is a loan forgiveness feature. Any of this loan amount which you are utilizing for purpose of the allowable expenses, which technically include the sick leave, payroll, rent, debt, mortgage, utilities, group benefits, or interest on debt. Any of these loans particularly, or any of these expenses, if you're done between now and June 30th, then government, actually since February 15th and June 30th, government would allow you to take this money and convert this to grant, and you will not have to repay that loan. Anything left over from this after conversion of the grant, you will have to pay that back over 10 years with interest. So this is a very unique feature. It's a loan that could be converted to grant. Tax credit to fund paid sick leave. So this is also another unique feature. A lot of people don't realize that there are many other benefits. There are close to 15 tax law changes that government has rolled out as part of this program beyond these two loan programs. And Perfect Tax, being one of the top tax planning firm, is positioned to help you maximize your tax benefit such a way that government is also allowing you to go back and amend your last 5 years tax return to get the taxes back, some of the taxes back, which you might miss an advantage of to help you sustain through this economic tough times, basically. One other thing is if you have an employee who is sick with COVID-19, or you have an employee whose daycare is turned off and they are technically using unemployment to pay themselves for next technically 13 weeks, at that point of time, you can get a FICA tax credit, employer share, you can get equal to lesser of wages plus healthcare cost, or 511 days per day for 10 days. If you give sick leave to an employee who has a sick family member, credit is $200 per day up to maximum of $10,000. So this tax credit is the Social Security tax which we pay as part of the employer portion, and they're allowing you to get that money back from the Social Security portion, or not pay the Social Security taxes on the payroll you run for the rest of the year, maximum up to $10,000 limit. So that is very important. And as I said again, apart from that, there are 15 to 20 other programs from tax law. So every time, whenever you are working with Perfect Capital, which is again a perfect tax company, we will also evaluate how you are qualified to get some of this tax benefit back from you, for you, which are beyond this PPP loan program and EIDL loan program. Delay of payment of employer payroll taxes. This particular provision allows employer and self-employed individuals to defer payment of employer share of the Social Security tax they otherwise are responsible for paying to federal government with respect to their employees. So employers generally are responsible for paying a 6.2% Social Security tax on employee wages. This provision requires that deferred employment tax to be paid over following 2 years, with half of the amount required to be paid by December 31st, 2021, and other half by December 31st, 2022. So Social Security Trust Fund will be held harmless under this provision. So this is very interesting, that whatever Social Security taxes you're paying, you're allowed to defer for this year. There are special forms. You have to make sure that when you're doing your payroll, you don't pay those taxes, and particularly fill out appropriate forms with the federal government to not pay these taxes, and you're deferring the tax to be paid in 2021 and 2022. So this is very, very important, and you're not going to pay any interest on this amount. So this is, and no penalties on this amount. So this is extremely important benefit. If you have technically 10 employees, and if you're paying them $100,000 a year, then you're talking about $1 million in salary. You're talking about $62,000 in Social Security and Medicare taxes of employer portion, which you normally pay, and government is allowing you to defer that. So this is very important benefit of taxes. When you work with us, would also show you how you can save this money and also help you with those right forms to help you save this money. Employee retention credit. If a government order requires you to partially or fully suspend your operations, or if your gross receipts have declined by certain threshold, you can receive a payroll tax credit equal to 50% of employee compensation, up to $10,000 per employee, paid between 2020 March to January 2021. This is another tax credit available through government, which is beyond your loan programs, which you can take advantage of, and they are allowing you 6.2% on $10,000 employee compensation. So that means per employee, you are able to get a complete employee tax credit benefit of $620, which you don't have to repay. So if you're running a payroll and you get $620 per employee per year tax credit from your Social Security and Medicare, which you don't have to repay, which is called employee retention credit. Very important tax credit. Every dollar really makes difference in this scenario to make sure that your small business survives through this challenging time. Perfect Tax and Perfect Group of companies have always worked proactively to help customers save money through tax planning, through tax credits, and these government unique programs to make sure that the government gets the small business gets the maximum benefits. Tax credits to fund paid sick leave. If you have an employee who is sick with COVID-19 or coronavirus and you are paying them sick leave, you can get a FICA tax credit of employer share equal to lesser of wages plus healthcare cost, or 511 per day up to 10 days. So that means you are getting additional tax credit of $5,111, which you don't have to repay through your Social Security taxes. If you give sick leave to an employee who has a sick family member, the credit is $200 per day up to maximum of $10,000. So you are again getting an additional tax credit of $10,000 through this particular program. Loan forgiveness feature of PPP. Expenses must incur within 8 weeks of loan issuance. So any expenses that are incurring between now and June 30th, all those expenses will be qualified for loan forgiveness feature of PPP loan, which is Paycheck Protection Program, which I earlier discussed. This money should be spent on qualified expenses. Business must maintain same number of employees between February 15 to June 30th of 2019, or from January 1st, February 15 of 2020, all the way to June 30th. No reduction of employees. So what that really means is that at the end of June 30th, you have to rehire those employees back. You could be reducing those employees today, but at the end of June 30th, you have to make sure that you have to rehire these employees back. Wages more than 25% of employees making less than 25K. So, your amounts will be reduced, if technically, if your employees are making more than $100,000, then this amounts of loan forgiveness would be reduced on that perspective. If loan is approved, you can bring employees which you let go on back and rehire them. Loan forgiven is non-taxable. So that is again very important, that let's say if your average monthly payroll for last year was $100,000, then you can get the loan forgiven for those employees. Now, a lot of people ask me this question, specifically for small business who have started their business last year. They ask me this question that I started my business half of the year. How do I calculate my loan? Because last year's average monthly payroll would be less because it would consider the entire 12 months. In this scenario, government is allowing you to either choose 2019 to calculate your average monthly payroll for PPP loan, or you can use 2020. You can take 2020 January and February payroll numbers and take an average monthly payroll and get that waived. The documents required are articles of incorporations for this PPP loan, bylaws or operating agreement for each company, copies of each driver's license, payroll expense verification documents, which includes 940, 941, payroll summary with bank statements, breakdown of payroll benefits, including vacation, allowance, dismissible, group healthcare benefits, retirement benefits, 1099s if you're an independent contractor, certification that all employees will live within the United States. If any do not, provide a detailed list with corresponding salaries, trailing 12-month profit and loss statements, and most recent mortgage or rent statements, and most recent utility bills. These are the documents required for the PPP loan to get this thing waived. Now, PPP loan, as I told you earlier, is technically done through your banks or financial institutions or private lenders. Now, the biggest challenge today with PPP loan, before we go even to EIDL loan, is that as a PPP loan, your biggest challenge is that banks are only taking few cases a day. Yesterday, I was listening, Bank of America in Dallas branch was only taking 25 cases a day. Now, your biggest challenge is that if they take 25 cases a day and your application is not submitted, then you could be missing out on this opportunity. And if the fund gets exhausted, you might never get the money till the next stimulus is passed or this program is extended. We have partnered with financial institutions directly, private lenders directly, who are able to do the same exact SBA loan, PPP loan, same interest, no difference, same exact terms, because they are again coming through SBA route, but they are processed through private lenders. And we have more than $100 million available today to help these clients through this private lender for the PPP loan. So you do not need to really go to the bank or go to the bank to really get this thing. You can do at the convenience of your home, do all of these things, and we will help you through this process. Banks are right now challenged. They are not experts. They are still struggling themselves particularly local branches, in order to do how to, successfully run this program. We are experts at this thing, so you can submit this application to Perfect Capital directly instead of going to bank, and we will be able to technically finance you directly. You don't have to go to bank, and the terms of the loan are exact same, so it does not matter. What are the fees? How much fees do we charge to help you complete the application? So if you don't need help and if you just want to submit the application, we will not be charging you any fees. You can submit your application directly to us as a lending source, and we will process your application and get you financing done right away. But if you want us to help you collect all the documents and submit this application, then we are charging 1.5% of the loan. If the loan is not approved, then we give you 100% money back. So what that really means is that this offer is a no risk offer. If your loan does not get approved, you don't owe any money to anyone. So that is very, very important in the scenario. In 90 days, we'll also work on loan forgiveness. There is an extra cost for that. There is an additional complexity-based fees to waive your loan up to 75%. We'll work with your team to submit the loan forgiveness program to forgive this loan. This loan forgiveness program is an independent service we are providing. Even if you have submitted your application with any other bank directly, we can still help you after 90 days, after June 30th, on the loan forgiveness part of it. Let's go to the next slide. I would like to talk, before we go into the next one more thing is EIDL loan. EIDL loan particularly, and I want to go back to the slide which talks about all the lending programs. EIDL loan program has a very unique feature. EIDL loan program allows you to technically take an EIDL loan up to $2 million from small business. It is much more comprehensive. You will need to provide guarantees, and the government is also looking your ability to pay back and also what your need is. So you not only have to technically provide them all the financial statements, you also have to provide them the information of projection of how your business is going to use this money and how you're going to repay this money back. We have experts in our company who have expertise only on EIDL loan, and they are continuously working. This program is in addition to Paycheck Protection Loan Program. You're not only able to take loan, for 2.5 times of your payroll. In this program, government would look what your payroll is, what your expenses are, what your revenues were, all kinds of expenses, right from marketing to advertising to employer salary. You can even consider in PPP loan and EIDL loan employer salary. So if you're an owner and you're paying salary to yourself, you can also consider that. Even 1099s, corp to corps are also included in this program. You can technically take loan from $10,000 all the way to $2 million. In this particular loan, your interest rate is going to be 3.75%, and the loan amortization is 30 years. What that really means is that your loan is divided over 30 years in this particular type of a loan. So this is very interesting. You don't have to repay you get a loan deferment for 6 to 12 months, like PPP loan, but at the same time, you are able to repay this loan over 30 years. That's very important for your small business. You don't have to repay this money back right away. Another thing, another unique advantage of EIDL loan is EIDL loan works independent. That's additional money. In my recommendation, every small business should try for both the loans, which includes PPP loan and EIDL loan at the exact same time. As I said again, Perfect Capital is here to help you with all of these loan programs. And one more thing I would like to uniquely share, that if you have, a lot of people have again asked us, what should I do to my employees? If I don't have this money, should I let them lay off? Should I furlough them? Or should I continue paying them if I have some work? The first answer is very simple. If you let them go, the employees are able to file the unemployment directly with state and federal department to get the money directly from state and federal department. But you can also do, instead of doing that, you can furlough them. Furlough means you are temporarily not paying them, and it is a leave without pay. So you're giving them leave of absence without pay. When you're furloughing an employee, When this is done and over, you can bring them back. And when they come back, they start getting the regular salary. If they don't come back, they don't have an option to continue getting unemployment. If you unemployed them, then they can continue getting unemployment from state and federal and never work for you. And that could lead to you losing those employees. Rather, I would furlough them rather than trying to file unemployment. But there is a third mechanism which we can help you. A lot of people are again not aware of this mechanism, that we can structure it in such a way where these employees continue working with you. If you have a business like a restaurant, or you have a e-commerce shop where you're still continuing to deliver revenues through your e-commerce operations, like Amazon is doing, or Walmart is doing, or a lot of e-commerce operations are doing. So if you're selling through internet and if you have employees who are still working for you, you can actually continue to pay those employees, but we can design your payroll restructuring such a way that you only have to pay $750 from your pocket, and rest of the money comes from government's pocket, through the state and federal government pocket, not through the loan program, but a different program. There is lots of additional incentives in the stimulus package. I have a client who was paying $3,000 to his employee. We restructured his payroll through this new mechanism, where now he was paying only $750 from his pocket, and state and federal government paid rest of the money of the employer's salary to keep these employees on payroll. At the same time, employee was not only able to make the same money, the guy who was making $3,000 with the benefit of state, federal, and employer $750, he now ends up making close to $3,900. So your employee also ends up making more money if you structure this correctly. This is a win-win program where you can structure this program such a way that your employee gets more money. You only pay $730 to $750, and rest of the money is paid by federal and state program. When you work with Perfect Capital, you would also look at your payroll and see if this is eligible. There is no specific name for this program. Government has created 3 different programs, and we are combining these 3 programs to take advantage of that. And this is not the loan program I was telling you. I would like to now open this now for Q&A session, so people can apply for Q&A. Actually, there is people can talk to a question about this Q&A. There are 2 more questions on chat window which I have seen. Japan has asked the question, the pros and cons of EIDL loan. The advantage and disadvantage of EIDL loan is, first thing, the disadvantage of EIDL loan is it does require personal guarantee. So it does require personal guarantee in that scenario, versus PPP loan does not require personal guarantee at all, because PPP loan could be converted to a loan forgiveness eventually. EIDL loan requires a personal guarantee that you are going to repay this loan, but the benefit of this particular loan is the amount is not limited to 2.5 times your payroll. It can go to all the way up to $2 million. Another thing is the interest rate is fixed. It cannot vary. Unlike bank interest rate, this interest rate is fixed for 30 years. Also, it also helps you not only get the fixed interest rate for 30 years, you pay it over the next 30 years. So that is an advantage of EIDL loan, and that's an additional money available on a first come, first serve basis for your business. Another question is, someone is asking on the chat that they started a retail business last year and do not have payroll to show. Paid part-time help, cash. Where do I fall on SBA Paycheck Protection Program? On a Paycheck Protection Program, if you have not paid, that's a great question, Delhi. In SBA Paycheck Protection Program, if you're not paid a payroll, technically you will not be directly be able to take advantage of that, unless and until you are paying yourself. Then you can still count your payroll. But without that, you will not be able to take advantage of that. You can still try to get an EIDL loan at that point of time. Another question Ajay is asking is that you would like to refinance my home with lower interest rate in next 2 months. Your full-time job salary is not affected. A small business that I started last year and would like to apply for PPP and EIDL both. So we can help you Ajay, with all those loans, PPP and EIDL loans, I'm going to move to the last slide, which has the contact information about the company and about us. So my recommendation is that technically, reach out on the contact information, which is right here, which you are able to technically, contact our team who is available right now working 7 days to help you with this. Sorry for that. I think I missed the slide. Let me go back to that same slide again. So this is the contact number 469-213-1519, or you can send an email to info@perfecttax.com or salesteam@perfecttax.com. I think there is an error on the presentation. It's info@perfecttax.com. So it is salesteam@perfecttax.com. Another question is, we can help you apply and maximize the PPP and EIDL loan. Both. I always tell people that when you hire a professional, we are not only helping you get the loan, we are also helping you maximize the loan. You need to remember that there is an opportunity of maximizing the loan. We can also help you with that. Another question is, do this loan qualify for self-employed with no employees? If yes, which ones? Yes, some of these loans do qualify. EIDL particularly does qualify for self-employed. If the PPP loan will be only if you have employees. Even if you're paying W-2 to yourself, you could be qualified. Another important thing is, please, anybody who wants to ask questions, please ask me questions on the chat window or Q&A window, and I would make sure that I address your questions. Do these loans qualify for self-employed and no employees? As I said again, EIDL loan does qualify for self-employed. PPP loan will not qualify for self-employed because you need to have employees. If you're paying payroll to yourself, if you're paying salary to yourself, yes, you are qualified. I saw PPP loan at 1% per Treasury Secretary as per his media briefing on Thursday, but you mentioned 4% in your slide. Can you explain the difference? PPP loan interest rate is up to 4%. Till yesterday, it was not exactly specified what that final loan interest rate is going to be. So I will have to check that what you're talking about, Treasury Secretary, what they're talking about, and what is part of that. But remember one important thing, that PPP loan, you could get 0% because you could get the entire loan forgiven if you're using that money for qualified funding. You could get the entire loan, forgiven, and you would not have any loan to be paid. Ajay is again asking, would refinancing my loan can be denied if I take PPP or EIDL loan? No, either of these things should not affect PPP loan. EIDL loan could have some impact, and I would explain you how. PPP loan technically is non-recourse, so it is not coming it does not count against the total loan you're borrowing. Versus EIDL loan particularly does get added when they are trying to create your income versus your debt coverage. EIDL loan gets added to your debt or to your loan payments amount. So when they are giving you a loan, they need to have debt coverage ratio for banks to see, and they will consider EIDL loan payment as part of this thing because it's not a non-recourse loan, it is a recourse loan. Another question. Yeah. All of these questions are great questions, so please keep asking these questions.
Sam, I have a quick question. Sorry to interrupt. I just have a question from an audience point of view. This is Moody. Why should we go with Perfect Tax for the loan packages?
Well, I think, Moody, that's a great question. See, I'll give you an example. Someone I was discussing with this loan package about 2 days back. He was applying the loan. He came to me, filled out all the forms, and came to me and submitted the forms to me. When he showed me these forms, the way he had represented the case, PPP is straightforward. PPP, it will not make a difference of the total loan amount. But the way we do PPP is it helps you and makes your life simple. And we can help you when you have this challenging issues. If you're not paid yourself, how to structure this such a way that you can get a PPP loan. Now, people who have not paid at all in our employee last year, we can still help you run your payroll for this year. And we can count, even for self-employed employees, we can run payroll for this year for January and February month and count that as a payroll and still apply and consider your, we can still qualify for PPP loan. But Moody, to answer your question, the biggest challenge is that when you do it yourself, you're not looking from this perspective. When this individual came to us, if he had submitted the application where he was submitting, he would have walked away with close to $50,000 in loan. When we actually looked at this information, he had not yet filed 2019 tax returns. So we were able to look at the 2019 books and we were able to present that information correctly on his books that his loan now went up to close to $200,000. So he was able to get 4 times that loan compared to if he had done it himself. Need to remember, we are experts at this thing. We do this for a living, and we have more than 30 experts working. Our firm is working today 24 hours a day. We are literally open 24 hours a day to help clients achieve this thing.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's a great question. Next question is, what can green card W-2 employees do? Can they file for unemployment without impacting citizenship application? That's a great question. Even though it is not part of this question, I'm not an immigration attorney, but I will still answer that for you. I am aware of this question because I have talked to a lot of immigration attorneys as my friends. Applying for unemployment does not affect your green card application. So yes, you are allowed to do that, or citizenship application. So please do that. How do I deal with my accountant? We are not asking you to change your accountant today. We are asking you to work with us. We will need the information from your accountant or from you to get this information. If your accountant is not an expert in the loan, and if he has never done the loan, then all he is doing is data entry for you. You'd be better off doing it yourself versus him. We have a loan department which has been working since last year, and we were only helping large businesses get loans from anywhere from $5 million to $100 million. And we have successfully done loans for lots of businesses last year, helping them get over $100 million in loan from actually more than a year now. But the challenge was that we were never offering. Now with this unique opportunity, we have also worked and partnered with the SBA lenders and private capital directly. So as you're applying for your loan with the bank, if you don't need our help, you can apply for a loan directly with us and we would technically still process your loan application. But if you need our help completing these forms and maximizing these loans, then our expertise of finance and loan comes into help and we can help you. We are home builders in Tyler, Texas. Are we qualified for EIDL loan? Yes, Raj, you are qualified for EIDL loan. Any kind of business is qualified. I myself have a real estate business and I'm a home builder myself. As I told you, one of the division of Perfect Group is Thakkar Developers, which does office construction to home construction, and you are qualified for EIDL loans. Your accountant may not be happy. Again, as I said to you, you are not switching your accountant. We are only helping you in the loan perspective. If you like what we do, if you like, we are able to get you more money in taxes. If you like, we are able to save you money in your payroll. It's your choice to decide that do you want to continue with your accountant subsequently. But we are not going to convince you to come and switch your accountant. Our goal is not to switch your accounting firm. Our goal is today to help you navigate through this tough time. But if you still like what we provide, you are more than welcome to work with us, and we would still continue helping you even in accounting, tax, and payroll side after we have got you the money and after we have helped you through this process. I guarantee you that the payroll program which I talked to you, a lot of accountants are not aware of it because that's not a created stimulus package. It is not announced in stimulus package. We are just taking advantage of 3 different things which they have announced in stimulus package. We are combining these 3 things combined together to get majority of payroll. You do not need to be making losses, or you do not need to be making, you could still be making revenues and still be eligible for paying only $750 to your employees and still get employees to get majority, all the money, 100% of that rest of the money from government program. So please, please don't miss this opportunity and take advantage of that. Does home office qualify if we show as rent expense? If you were paying rent last year to yourself as home office, then yes. As if you're not filed your tax return, then there is a good opportunity for us to look into this perspective and consider it as an expense. And yes, home office could qualify as a rent expense. Great presentation, S Corp. You have an S Corp. However, I have not formally shown payroll on my company. Is that something you can help us set up for 2020? Absolutely. We can help you set up. If you're self-employed and not run payroll, we can still run your payroll for January and February. Government might come back with a small penalty, but we can still help you with that. And if you're self-employed or a single employer, please take advantage of that so you can be qualified under PPP loan program and EIDL loan program. Perfect Tax, again, as I said again, is a full service firm, can help you also get fix any of these issues. If we see that your books are not done correctly, which would maximize your loan for last year, we would not only be able to help you fix it, we would also guide you if you want to do it yourself, that these are the things you change on your last year's 2019 stuff. As you not file your taxes, you'll be able to maximize your loan. Again, these are all great questions. I will continue answering some of these questions. Also, our companies employs real estate agents as 1099, so we qualify for PPP. If you have 1099, yes, you do qualify for PPP, but the qualification criteria for PPP starts next week, not this week. The only challenge is that for the loan forgiveness part of it, if you're not paying payroll, I don't know if you're not paying payroll, how you'll be qualified for loan forgiveness part of it. And that is where what I would do is, if you work with me, Kumar, we can help you do such a way where you still get loan forgiveness even though you're 1099. So please email to info@perfecttax.com or sales team at perfecttax.com, and someone from our team expert would help you if you're a 1099 employee in this site. I have an S Corp but do not pay self. Can I start paying myself now to avail PPP loan? Yes, but you would have to still run payroll for January and February, because for PPP loan, they're either taking your payroll for January or February, average payroll, or last year. And as I told earlier, we can still help you with that. Good. Again, these are great questions. Keep asking on the chat windows. Gulshan has another great question. Does any of the program assist with refinancing of the existing bank loan taken from another bank on a lower rate from SBA? Yes, some of the loans could be refinanced and rolled into SBA or the EIDL or PPP loan. But my recommendation is that not to do that and use EIDL and PPP loan as an additional source of funding. Keep this extra money with yourself, and this would help you considerably. But you can do that. Not only that, as I told you, we can also help you with getting the private loans. We are going to upload for people who do not want to engage our service and only want to submit the loan applications for PPP. We are going to upload the page on our website, perfecttax.com today. So if you go to perfecttax.com, there should be a link available today to just go upload and apply for PPP loan online. This technically is not going to be, this is like a service as if you're going to self-apply for a loan, and that will not cost you any money like a bank. But if you were to use our services where we are applying on your behalf, collecting all the documents, and also using our experts' help to maximize your savings, at that time, we would technically charge you fees for that. Are all these loans and grants limited to citizenship green card holders only, or available to non-citizen green card business owners as well? The PPP loan particularly does ask about the green card holder and citizenship. So SBA loans do require green card holder or citizenship. Again, please talk to us. There could be some exceptions created. Typically, in a straightforward answer, Mohan, my answer would be is that only green card holders or citizens would be eligible. But as an exception to this rule, I always say that we are tax planners. You are coming to us, we are here to help you. Even if you're W2, there could be some, even if you are non-green card holder or citizen, we could technically find a workaround. So please talk to us, send us an email to info@perfecttax.com. Make sure you write your question correctly, and our experts can help you. We might still be able to help you even if you have the no green card or no citizenship. If you were to apply online, they would reject your loan if you're not a citizen and green card. So please don't self-apply. Talk to us before you do that. Immigration status, someone with legal status but do not have green card citizen, can that apply company qualify? I think I just answered that question. I've applied for 10K advance grant yesterday. What will be the response time? 10K advance grant should come very fast, basically. what I've been hearing is within a week, you should start getting that response, particularly for the 10K grant. If I'm paying myself more than 100K and I get PPP loan, which caps the loan at 100K, would I still need to be myself the full amount if I get the PPP loan? I am assuming that you are saying that would I still need to pay myself to get the full amount? So that is very important. If you're paying yourself 100K, your average monthly payroll is about $8,500. So your loan under PPP would only be 2.5 times of $8,500. They do not count your annual payroll. They are counting your monthly average payroll either for last year or for this year. So they are not counting your total payroll. They are counting your monthly average payroll for 2019 or monthly average payroll for January and February this year. You can choose whatever you like. Sanjay is asking a question that does any of the loans can apply for real estate investors who has SFR rental houses? Again, if he has a business, some of these loans could be qualified for the rental house business as well. Again, please talk to us individually, send us an email, and we can talk to you individually one-on-one that how you could be qualified under the rental property as well. Straightforward, if you apply online, you might not be, but in this particular scenario, I would recommend to talk to us, and we'd have to do some things before you get qualified. Mr. Rao is asking a question. I have an S corp with myself and wife as an employee. If we apply for unemployment benefits since we run payroll and pay unemployment insurance, can I also apply for PPP and other loans? Yes, you can apply for PPP and other loans, and you can be qualified for unemployment benefits because you run payroll for yourself. But as I told you earlier, that we can restructure your payroll where you don't have to qualify unemployment. You can still pay yourself, little bit of the money, $750 a month, and then use PPP loan to pay that $750. And you can still utilize the other government assistance program, which could get money back to you same exact way. Again, Mr. Rao, I would recommend you to email us and work with our team to help you on that. Mr. Vijaynath, he's also trying to do the same. I did not understand the question, but I think you're talking about the same thing. So we can again help you on that. I just answered that question. Owner's withdrawal, can we present this as a salary or 1099? Yes, it is possible. As I told you, not directly like that. You cannot say owner's withdrawal as salary. You will have to run payroll. We would have to technically set you up on a payroll process. Please talk to us. We might have to help you design and run payroll, Mr. Kumar. Rishi is asking a question. My payroll was already done by my accountant already for Jan, Feb, and March. Am I able to change payroll if it has been done already? Yes, possible. Talk to us. A hard question to answer on the chat windows and those things, but please talk to us. We will talk one-on-one to see what is possible, what is not possible in this scenario, Rishi. Can these loans be used for investing purpose to diversify for other income during these tough times, or is there any stipulation of how you use it? You can use this loan. They typically have a guidance that you should use this loan for this purpose. But if you get the loan, they're not going to ding you if you were to use this loan for some other purpose. But in PPP loan, this loan would not be forgiven if you do not use this loan for any purpose that is not approved. Example, salary, rent, mortgage, interest, taxes, or benefits which you're providing to your payroll. So in PPP, you technically would not be qualified to apply for this loan. So in that scenario, but you can use that extra money for any other purpose to create an income stream. Again, I would like to leave you with a very interesting thought for everyone. If any of you guys want to understand, if you are facing two unique challenges, I would like to leave you with another extra thought process for you. If you have lost money recently in stock market, and I've been discussing this with team members from months and months, or a lot of community members, that you got to diversify your 401k to some real estate portfolio. You would be surprised that real estate portfolio, as it is backed by real physical assets, we as a real estate developer are not seeing a lot of disadvantage here. Rather, some of our real estate technically are in such a strong position that even in this market, we are able to get a phenomenal results for everyone, our investors. So if you have not diversified your investment portfolio, my recommendation is send an email to sales@thakkardevelopers.com, or you can send an email to info@perfecttax.com. We can help you take and diversify some of your 401k money into real estate, and either you can buy a rental property for yourself, or we can also help you invest with us, and we can help you maximize your benefit. That is one thing. Second thing, I would also recommend that you can also do one more thing, and I think I forgot to add this, that you are able to withdraw money from your 401k, and you would not be getting the 10% penalty if you were to withdraw money from 401k right now. You can technically also increase your loan from 401k from $50,000 now to $100,000. At the same time, if you were to withdraw money from loan from 401k, you would not pay tax or penalties right now, but you would report that in next 3 years as an income, and you would pay taxes on that in next 3 years. So that is another option. This thing. Yes, we will post these slides. Everyone who has registered, or my recommendation is everyone who drops an email to sales@perfecttax.com or info@perfecttax.com, anyone who has registered, we will make these slides available to them. Please call me back. Again, our number to reach us is 469-213-1519. I hope we were able to add some value to everyone, and able to answer some questions. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone joining this afternoon. We had more than 50 people joined through Facebook, and more than 7,000 people last time had looked at this webinars on our Facebook Live platform. People who have not been able to ask questions through Facebook Live, please send an email to info@perfecttax.com or salesteam@perfecttax.com. These are tough times. We are here to help. We are here to make sure as a community members you save most money. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you everyone for joining this presentation. Thank you.